Hello, everybody. Hey, how you doing? Happy Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Sorry, I've been gone for a little bit while we're waiting on folks to join. Remind you to go to coopedup.com to follow me there. Also, if you will follow me on Instagram, specifically at imcoopedup.com, that is my handle there. Wherever you watch or listen to this, click the bell to get notified when I go live. Anyway, hey, so I hope y'all are doing great. Let me get that off the screen. Hey, Mama, good to see you. Um, when was I on last? Friday? I think it was Friday. Yeah. So today is Wednesday. So it's been a minute since I've been on. We have been to North Carolina and back. So Todd and I, every year, 2 weeks before school starts, we take the kids to North Carolina to Todd's parents' house. They live about maybe 45 minutes or so south of Asheville. Gorgeous, gorgeous part of America. Actually, one of my favorite, like visually beautiful parts of the United States. And we take them there. We stay for a few days or so. And then Todd and I fly back and leave the kids there. And then Todd will go out and back, I guess, a week from Friday. Todd flies out and back to get them. And then school starts right after that. So anyway, so that was a good weekend. I'll get more into that in a minute. So today I had a ladies who lunch with Eric Johnson, who is a big follower here, a big fan, one of my besties. And Aaron Kyle was supposed to be there, but he unfortunately has a sick bambino at home, or bambina rather, and could not be there. But I'll tell you something. A lady never tells you how many bottles of wine were consumed at lunch. We had a good time catching up. Eric starts back to school tomorrow. He's a teacher, 3rd grade, 4th grade, something like that. He starts back tomorrow for his like work days and in-service and all that stuff. So today was his last day of freedom. So we had a grand time at Toulouse, which is a French restaurant in kind of the uptown Highland Park area of Dallas. So anyway, what's going on? What did I miss? Anything? I haven't really been keeping up on the news or the Olympics or anything like that because internet sucks at my in-laws' house. With every bit of majesty and beauty and amazement that the physical landscape has. I mean, you're just sitting at the breakfast table and a deer walks by with like 3 little baby deers, and all of that, turkeys, occasional bear, those types of things. The internet, even if they wanted to spend $1,000 a month on internet, they could not. They just cannot get better internet out there. To the kids, the kids are not great fans of that part of it. But it is nice to disconnect a little bit. So get back. Big news, I guess, is Simone Biles got an individual award. She got a bronze medal. Most people thought she'd get better than that. Whatever. I don't know. These just weren't her games. So she's back. And I think she's back in America now, actually. She came back already. In Grand Prairie, Texas, which is immediately like west of Dallas, like the suburb immediately west of Dallas, there's a cobra on the loose. You heard that right. Someone had a pet cobra, as in strike you dead. And it has gotten loose somehow. And there's now a warning that if you see this cobra, do not go near it. Do not try to catch it. I guarantee you, most people will not try to catch a cobra. Are cobras aggressive? I've actually always heard that they're not super aggressive unless they feel threatened. Granted, a cobra in a Walmart parking lot might feel pretty threatened, so I don't know about that. And then the other thing that I have been looking at, which I actually titled today's Know Before You Go, that's the title of today's episode. There is this high controversy here in the Dallas area, and actually I was researching it a little earlier today as I was like in the car waiting to go to lunch or something. There are these immersive Van Gogh exhibits, and so basically it is Van Gogh's art, Starry Nights, his portraits, sunflowers, all that kind of stuff, and they can project it, and you can like live in or walk through the exhibit and be immersed in it. Carrie and I have talked about this before. Carrie was going to be on today, by the way, but she's at her dad's house, and there's no good place to do this from there. But there are like 5 touring exhibits in the United States of America, and there are 2 that keep booking their dates at the same time. And I think one of them is called Immersive Van Gogh, and the other one is called Van Gogh: The Immersive Experience, right? And by the way, this is rich white people problems. I get this, but so people are buying tickets and they don't know which one they're buying it to because they're so similar. They're both around the same date. One starts like this weekend, the other one starts in 2 weeks or something like that. And people don't know which one they bought tickets for. And to the credit of the one that I think is probably the more scammy one, the one that copied the first one, they released their tickets way before for sale, even though they didn't say the location. Well, they've now announced the location, and it sounds kind of shitty. So the better one, as far as I can tell, I could be wrong on this, but the better one, which I don't know which one is which, I think it's Immersive Van Gogh, I think is the better one, if I recall right, is taking place at this old Masonic lodge in downtown Dallas, and they're using architecture and all that kind of stuff, right? So supposedly that's the better one. And then there's this other one called Van Gogh: The Immersive Experience that is going to be in a tent on the field of the old ballpark at Arlington where the Rangers used to play. Now they've built a new stadium in a tent, and they're just projecting on the inside of the tent like a cheesy ass haunted house. And people are like, I don't know which one I bought the ticket for. I don't know. So that's the controversy in Dallas right now. Again, if these are the worst of our problems. I mean, we got cobras on the loose, but for some reason, I guess that's just in Grand Prairie. Chris or Mike is saying, I know a fake cobra in our house puts people on the run every now and then. So we have our friend Johnny Sue Fulton, who actually recently passed away, a couple of years ago gave the kids fake snakes. And they were so fucking realistic that the kids would play with them in the yard, and I would see them in the yard and about like soil myself. It was because they were like really big, and they were like native snakes. It was like copperhead and rattlesnake, I think, were the 2 snakes. So it wasn't like cobra, although I don't know that I could. I mean, if it were standing up like this, I'd be like, oh, that's a cobra. That's not supposed to be here. That's probably not real. But you see a copperhead. You grow up in Texas, and you know that most snakes, well, not all, maybe not. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Not even most snakes are poisonous, but a huge portion of snakes in Texas. What's the saying that for coral snakes? Red and yellow kill a fellow. So if the red and the yellow are touching, that's poisonous. Black on red, never dread, or something like that. And I don't know what's the other snake, the black and red one. It's like some sort of farm snake. But anyway, and Grand Prairie is actually the closest suburb to us. Like if you just go, I'm not gonna say all snakes are cobras until they are dead. I'm not so we have a lot of snakes in our yard, but they're those little gray. They honestly look like earthworms almost, but they're not in the ground. Red and black venom lac. Yeah. Black, red and yellow kill a fellow, red and black venom lac. Okay, that's the phrase. See, this is when you were country or raised in a country ass place like Texas. These are the things that you memorize, folks. It's important. It's important to know. How do you lose a cobra? Like, how does it get out? And how do you not know it's in your house? Or have you just burned your house to the... I mean, if I had a cobra, which that's a very high hypothetical right there. But if I had a cobra in the first place, and I go up to it and the cage is empty, I'm just I'm just burning the house down. I'm just running out. Nothing is going to happen. Because the other thing is, I'm thinking, that bitch has got a vendetta against me. Like, what's going to happen? Like, why? What did it think was going to... I mean, it's been looking at me like I'm the cake in the pie case, or the pie in the pie case for all these years. Not happening. So, Josh is saying, better yet, why the hell would one want a cobra as a pet? I am there for that. I love pets, but a deadly snake does not seem to offer any type of companionship. I feel that way about a lot of pets, though. Like birds. Like, why do people have birds? Like, I don't get the companionship part of that. I can sort of understand fish because fish are at least pretty and maybe like stress relieving and all that stuff. But birds, I've never understood the desire to have a bird as a pet. Like, there's nothing about a bird that seems like companionship to me, right? I mean, I could be wrong. Snakes generally, boa constrictors, those types of things, do not understand that it's a pet. Claire's getting a hedgehog, or maybe two soon. From my niece Logan's getting rid of hers. Claire's going to take them in. I'm about 50% okay with it. I mean, we're going to get it. It's going to happen. But like, I'm like, that just seems like something that smells more than it pays off. I even had a ferret once. When I was a kid, I had a pet ferret. And it's cute and all, but they just run away and they just shit all over everything and piss all over everything and they stink and they eat everything. And then they die because they have like no immune systems. And birds just scream and shit everywhere. I'm there. Yeah, exactly, Josh. That ferret was cute and all, like I said, but not a companion. We had a really mean hedgehog, Jesse's saying. Yeah, I know. At least these two, I know their history because my niece has raised them, has had them for a while. One is supposedly kind of gregarious and affectionate, sort of, as much as something covered in spines can be. And the other one is kind of like an introvert, if you will. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. David has a bearded dragon named Gertrude. That's enough. That was on the list of things Claire wanted. And I was like, first of all, have you seen how big they get? And secondly, I looked at the age expectancy of these things and I was like, I'm not keeping these when you're in college. So like this thing needs to die before you get to college. And so I was like, okay, some used hedgehogs, chances are probably pretty high that they are not going to make it because Claire's going into the 6th grade. So chances are it's probably not going to make it another 7 years before it kicks the bucket. So I'm okay with the hedgehog. The smell is that's what I'm mostly concerned about. Are we going to smell like we have a litter box? Because we have cats, but they are outsided cats only. Because I don't want a box of shit in my house. I literally do not want a box of dry shit in my house, and I certainly don't want to be the one to care for it. And I have enough trouble getting my children to flush their shit in a wet bowl. Like now, I'm expecting them to. Nah, I'm working myself up over this, y'all. I'm working myself up over this. Anyway, bearded dragons have personality and get really attached to their feeder. Well, that sounds really attached. That sounds like attacking everybody else. I don't know how I feel about that. On the flight back, have y'all been to an airport recently? On the flight back, so first of all, we're pretty much like recluses when it comes to airport travel. So we have every possible way to avoid people like signed up for. So we have pre-check, we have global entry, which gets you pre-check. We have lounge access for American Airlines and for American Express. So we basically whisk past the line and whisk into a lounge and sit all by ourselves, right? Sit away from people. But then you have to go out and stand at the gate and wait for the gate lights to get away so that group 4 can get on, because that's the group we're in. And everyone, for some reason, they say, we're about to start boarding group 1. And for some reason, group number 9 stands up. I'm like, have you not been here before? But obviously you haven't because you're in group 9. So we get on the plane and we're there and we're coming back. So uneventful, just busy, just crowd dead. Although shockingly, our flight back, we did not have someone sitting between us. But on the way back, I was in like 26C of 27 rows. I got to North Carolina about 5 minutes after everybody else did. But on the way back, there were these guys who we were in row 11, and there were these guys in row 12, not immediately behind us, but on the other side of the aisle, who kept wearing their masks like this. They kept pulling them down under their chins. And I love a bitchy gay flight attendant. I mean, literally, it is something magnificent to watch them do their thing, right? And when it's good, it's good. And when it's bitchy, it's better. The flight attendant a couple of times had to come back and tell these guys that they needed to pull their masks up, right? And then the last time he came by, and we were about to land at this point, it's only like a 2-hour and 2-minute flight, something like that, comes by and he says, "Gentlemen, I believe I've told you many times that you need to put your mask back up. I am not going to tell you again." And did it very loudly and very, oh, these guys are like, no one wants to fuck with the flight attendant. At this point, though, I think that there are enough stories out there about unruly passengers and what happens to them that you need to get to, right, on that. I watched a movie in flight. I watched Crazy Rich Asians. Have y'all read that? So I read that. I read the whole series, Crazy Rich Asian, China Rich Girlfriend, and Rich People Problems. It's a trilogy. It's all about the uber wealthy in Southeast Asia. Just total cotton candy, no nutritional value whatsoever, but super fun to read. And then we saw the movie. Arden, who works with me, and I went to the premiere. And actually, the author Kevin Kwan was sitting in the row in front of us at Alamo Drafthouse here. And so I only seen the movie the one time, and I just read the books, and I thought the movie was kind of eh. But then I watched it again on the plane, and it was so interesting to watch. First of all, sitting in coach, watching all these people fly first class and stuff. Nothing better than that, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful movie, but I'm like, now I want new clothes. Now I want all this. But the funny thing is that flight from South Carolina, because we fly out of Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina, to DFW Airport is like literally like 2 hours and 2 minutes long, or an hour and 58 minutes, depending on like wind and all that stuff. But it's like right at 2 hours. So I am trained on that flight that if I want to watch a movie, I have to pick a light movie because it can't be really long. It cannot be like a 3-hour thing, because there's nothing worse than starting a movie and then you get to 3/4 of the way through it and then the flight's over, right? So pick a light movie, which is why I picked that movie. And then I'm like, I started like immediately, because we're literally landing and we're like in the final scenes of it. And I'm like, come on. What, I mean, it's the only time you don't want to arrive soon, right? It's the only time that you're like, don't get to the gate just yet. Don't turn it off. Oh, someone needs to start a service. American could actually charge for that. Like I would pay $5 to see the rest of a movie if I started the movie and it wasn't finished yet in flight or whatever. Oh, my hair is a wreck. Look at that. I would pay $5 to see the rest of that movie if I was already that invested into it. But fun movie. Y'all are very quiet today, considering I haven't seen y'all in a while. Michelle knows a guy who had a pet anteater. How do you even get that as a pet? That's sometimes I see people with things and I'm like, how did you acquire one of those in the first place? Like, is there an anteater dealer? Is there an anteater rescue? Like, how does that? And I'm sure there's rescues for a lot of things, but like, how? How do you get that? What else did I have to talk about today? I have something to talk about that I have not even told Todd yet, and I'm hoping he is not watching because I was going to tell him right after this. So Todd gave me permission. And again, this is something that I never in a million years thought this would be Koopa 2021. I bought a used Peloton, y'all. I'm picking it up tomorrow. So, and Todd, if he's watching, he's about to come knock on the door. He's like, what did you do? And keep in mind, there's 20 seconds between the time the words come out of my mouth and y'all hear them. So there might be a delay in the reaction. But so Todd gave me permission over the weekend to buy a Peloton. We both have been interested in it, but only if I could find a used one, because you can get a good deal on it and all that kind of stuff. So so just random, I mean, like the universe told me, you need one of these. And I started looking on Facebook Marketplace, and actually someone I know, well, not directly, but there's someone who I know that we have a million mutual friends here in the neighborhood. They're moving out of the neighborhood, and they were selling it. And so I got it, and she claims that they've only used it like 8 times. Her husband's shoe size is the same size as mine, and that's a lot of the expenses isn't the bike. It's also the mats and the weights and the bands and the shoes and all that stuff. I'm getting the whole shebang. So I'm picking it up tomorrow. Is a Peloton going in the room that you never go into? I know. I have a gym in my house I'm not even a member of. I'm sure that David Gogh would not be Gogh. Did I say it right? I think I did. Would not be a fan of that because he has like a baller gym at his house that he has put a lot of work into. Cody or Peloton is great. You will love Cody Rigsby. Yes. So that is, everyone keeps telling me that. And then I watch some of his stuff and I'm like, that's funny and all, but he doesn't pedal half the time. And again, the only reason I think Peloton is going to potentially work for me is I abhor exercise because it is so boring. And so if I can make it interesting or have someone guide me, I can do classes and that kind of thing. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I got it for such a good deal that even if I turn around and sell it tomorrow, I could break even. So I'm not worried about that. It was a good purchase. But but Cody seems like he has a lot. Like he has a lot. And that's coming from me, and I realize I am a lot. So we'll see how that goes. Michelle saying beats me about this is about the anteater still. He kept it in a spare bedroom with no carpet and a drain in the floor so he could hose it out. Like why? Like what? What? Why? What are you gonna do with that? So if y'all have any recommendations on Peloton, send them my way. I do have to order Todd a pair of shoes because I hear that the membership, you can have multiple profiles. And if I can get him bought into it, all the better. And I think I can even cast it to the bigger TV in there. Tawana is saying, welcome to the bike spin world, the spin bike world. I have a bike too, not a Peloton. They have great workouts on the app. Yay. Well, I'm excited about it. Need to get rid of. So y'all don't see that from here down. So I'm really good at knowing my angles. And so I always face forward. I actually got made fun of at my granddaddy's funeral 2 weeks ago for this exact thing, or a week and a half ago. Because I caught someone out of my eye taking a picture and I turned so that I would be facing straight forward. So I know my angles. I look better this way than I do this way. And I look better tits up than the rest of it. So I'm hoping that the place where all my weight settles will maybe not be the place where all my weight settles anymore. So yeah, if y'all have any recommendations on that, pass them my way. Is it all spin? Because I've seen ads that you can do other things, like other workout classes. I don't know how that works. Does the screen change? Does it have a cup holder on it? I don't know. I will see. Maybe I'll broadcast live from my Peloton tomorrow. No, they have weights and meditation. So it's not just spin. Okay. Because it comes with like 5-pound weights. And I did see meditation on something. So the app actually looks like it's pretty robust. And I'm already a subscriber to Daily Burn. I can actually cancel that and probably break even right there. Daily Burn and Beachbody, but I keep the Beachbody one so that I have a client that sells Beachbody, and it's kind of a client relations thing that I keep my membership with that. So the meditation is kind of new agey and annoying, but maybe I'm too negative. Well, I am a big fan of Oprah, as you can see. So maybe new agey is not too far off for me. And Tawana needs a Shakeology. I'm going to start on that too. But yeah, I'll set some out for you soon. Crystal, who is recovering from diverticulitis, all you have to do is get sick near death and bam, lost 20 pounds. Sounds like a diet to me. A diet. But I'm here all week, folks. Or at least for a couple more days. I'm glad that you're feeling better and you can laugh about it, though, Crystal. That's good. Well, that is all I have got today. I'm not wearing my Apple Watch today. This is a problem that's not actually a problem. I keep flicking my wrist, thinking I'm like, why can't I see the time? Because I'm used to doing that on my Apple Watch and it will just shine the time at me. And now I'm like, I gotta fucking learn how to read a watch again. And then I have to know my Roman numerals and figure it out. And so anyway. Do the Pride ride. Oh, good Lord. Most people cried. Well, I am most people in that sense. I cried everything. I will probably cry at the first one just saying, you did it. You did it. Because don't they like celebrate you if you're like on leaderboards and stuff? Someone told me though that if you have multiple email addresses, and this is maybe I shouldn't be saying this out loud, but I'm going to anyway. If you have multiple email addresses, that you can keep signing up for new 3-month trials on new email addresses and just signing in with those to save, like, isn't it like $40 a month or something? The only thing is you lose like your tracking and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not too big on that. So, and you will get a shout out. Yeah. So I get a shout out every 3 months with my new membership. All righty. Was there any? So I got like 4 minutes left. Is there anything you wanted to address? We can do a virtual workout. Tawana is saying, "Yay, that's super fun." I actually saw you, Tawana, on your social with your bike and your inspirational messages earlier today. It's about making better choices, and you know what? That is not something I am known for. And when it comes to, I'm very good at making good business choices. I'm very good at making decent financial choices, at least things that don't bankrupt me totally. I'm not very good at making good nutritional choices. No, nutritional I can do. Like I had salad with a salmon today, because I could eat salad and salmon for every meal. I love it so much. I love grilled chicken. I love pretty much any green leafy vegetable. I am there for. Love them all. So it's not that, and I have no sweet tooth whatsoever. So I don't need ice cream, cake, anything, wine, maybe that fills my sweet tooth. But it's the exercise thing. I cannot be counted on. This is why I need a class also, because a class, I can set a finite amount of time. Like I'm going to dedicate 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever the time is to this. And someone else keeps track of time for me. Because if I work out alone, again, we have a full set of gym equipment in our free weights, all that kind of stuff. Treadmill, don't get on any of them, because I get on it and I'm like, whew, that felt like 30 minutes. 5 minutes later. I mean, seriously, I'm like 5 minutes into it. I'm like, oh, how much time is left? I'm the worst at that. So why do you have Mickey Mouse with a dildo in his hand? Michelle, that is so. So that is a Mickey Mouse electronic toothbrush from when I was a kid. I love Mickey Mouse. I've always loved Mickey Mouse. And Mickey Mouse, Oprah, Dolly, and the Golden Girls. They're all up there for me, right? And Designing Limited, it's Suzanne Sugarbaker, Walking Noel right there. But that is a toothbrush. It doesn't work anymore, but if you lift the handle, it has a song that says, brush, brush, brush your teeth each and every day. Up and down all around, brush decay away. That's my best Mickey Mouse impersonation. That's actually probably the best impersonation I do. But Mickey and how long have you been watching this? Is it because it's been so blurry all along? You're like, oh, Mickey's got a dildo back there. Oh, Josh, you get 100 rides, you get a free t-shirt, but they didn't have my size because I'm still too fat. Oh, that is tragic. How rude of them. That's like going into Lululemon. Carrie hates that store because she's like, and Carrie is like the fittest person I know, but she's still a big girl because she likes to eat and the drink. But she's like, they don't make my size. I'm a big girl. Brush decay away, or I thought it said brush the day away. I don't know. Decay makes more sense, like brush tooth decay. Because why would you brush your whole day away? Like, why would you brush your teeth so much? Maybe I'll Google it. I'm sure there is a website. I bet I can find on YouTube Mickey Mouse toothbrush. Oh my gosh, it filled it out song. Let's see if I can find that. No, it's for the new one, Oral-B one. This is, but I thought it was. Anyway, that is. You've always wondered, Michelle. I just keep my my Disney model sex toys on the shelf just for your enjoyment. I have no shame whatsoever. Okay. So for the next show, I need to write a new jingle for Mickey with the dildo. Now, maybe that's something you could do the day away. Oh my goodness, this has gone off the rails. So, alrighty. Well, with that, by the way, my mother watches, and I love it because I get my sick sense of humor from my mother and my ability. She has raised children. 2 of her 3 children have no shame whatsoever in being hams and the butts of the joke. My little brother is a retired professional wrestler who now has a wrestling studio. So it's always a lot of fun. Anyway, alrighty. Well, with that, I'm going to say bye. I've lost it in my brain. I love you. It's important to know you are loved. I love that you watched this. Thank you. I missed you. I miss you anytime I'm away for a few days. And thank you, by the way, to those. I got a bunch of texts from people and messages saying, "Where are you? Where are you?" Well, not that I didn't mention it 16 times last week that I wasn't going to be here Monday and Tuesday. That's a whole other thing. So thank you, and I will see you tomorrow at 4:30 for another episode of Cooped Up. Should I say? Talk to you later. Bye.